Well, hello from out here in the wheat fields. We're in the middle of harvest now here at Loyal, Oklahoma. This specific field right here, just going by the monitors on our combine, it's making around 50 bushel. Some of the other places we've cut are basically about the same. We've still got some wheat to go. We're not quite half done. So we still got a lot of wheat to go, but it's promising on the yields. Maybe the only thing that's a little bit disappointing is the protein this year is down, and the theory is because we had so much moisture and the wheat really never had any stress on it. It just doesn't make as much protein. Wheat likes to have a little stress to make protein. I guess it's like tomato plants. If it thinks it's not going to live, then it makes a better quality of a product. But anyhow, the test weights are phenomenal. It's running around 64 pounds on test weight, and like I said, the quality of the grain is extremely good. It seems like that what we're doing right now, whether I know or we know exactly what it is, but it seems like what we're doing is working. This is the second year in a row. Of course, Mother Nature makes a lot of the calls, and we've had 2 good years of weather growing. We've had extremes this year, but it seems like maybe the extremes are good. We're good with the wheat. It sure did agree with it. So anyhow,
Steve, could you talk a little bit about what you've seen as far as changes in your fertilizer rates? You know, as we've seen these yields improve, but as you've done the no-till and the cover crops, what have you seen as far as some of the inputs?
Well, this year we didn't get our second batch of top dressing on. We put fertilizer on it, starter, and we put a little fertilizer on it before the first of the year. Then in January, I thought we'd put a little bit of fertilizer on it along, just kind of feed it, and we were going to finish up with another batch of fertilizer in March, and it got wet, and the wheat got too far along to where I couldn't put the chemical on it that I wanted to do, and I just didn't see putting the fertilizer on at the time. And we're still getting good yields with a third less of the fertilizer. So and even the fertilizer that we put on now, we're not putting on nearly the pounds that we have in the past. Top dressing wise, we're only putting on right now about, we only got 60 pounds of top dress on this year of product. And it's 28%. So, you know, whatever 28% of 60 pounds is actual nitrogen. So we're not putting on nearly the nitrogen, the product that we used to. Now, as far as fungicides and things like that, yes, we do have to do a lot of, we still have to treat the wheat to keep the diseases out of it, as far as what comes up with the rust and stuff. I have not seen mosaic. People had saying there was a little mosaic around. Didn't see any of that in any of our fields, at least that I have seen.
You talk about your fertilizer rates. You said that's less than what you did when you conventional tilled. Is that?
Oh yeah. We're probably, I would say, 50% less than we used to be, 15 years ago. But whether the theory is that the cover crops we're putting on are bringing up some of the deep nutrients, making them more available higher up with the deep roots. The no-till, the organic matter, the organisms in the soil are making some of the nutrients more available to the next crop. It sounds good, so I guess that's what.
And just for our listeners that might not be familiar with the wheat in this part of the world, this is dual purpose wheat. That's winter wheat that's grazed in the wintertime. So you had the cattle, and if you follow what covers, you've got the possibility to graze those covers if you could stand too. Is that right?
Yeah, we have. We're late. I mean, here we are, the 17th of June, and usually we're about done now, and we're not even half done. So our covers are going to get put on late this year. I'm not going to say what kind of pasture we're going to have, but any kind of growth that we get, I think, is a plus for this ground, because if you got a root growing in that ground, feeding the microorganisms, it's just going to help for the next crop. And then also putting down that extra cover into the ground to be broken down by the microbes for future use for crops is good too. So, you know, but like I said, it's going to be late, and I know my family want to take a vacation, but I don't know if we're going to get any vacation, because we're going to be sowing crops or something all summer long. So anyhow,
Well, Steve will come back and visit with you whenever we're planting cover crops a little later.
all right,
on.
thank you.